So we're here at Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park, just north of Hickory, North Carolina. Actually, it's due north of Hickory. And we're riding the 2018 Yamaha Wolverine X4. I've been waiting for this machine to be revealed to the public and be brought out to a place where we could actually ride it. I'm incredibly excited about what it's going to offer, not only the adventure in every family, but that family element, you know, where you can get mom as the driver, go mom, right? And dad and the kids and everybody in this vehicle comfortable so you can cruise the trails and explore areas of the country that maybe you haven't seen. One thing that I really like about the Wolverine X4 is this new 847cc parallel twin. Insanely smooth, 47% more power, I think somewhere. Yamaha doesn't usually disclose horsepower ratings, but hopefully I'm not mistaken, but I think we found that it's about 69 horsepower, provides plenty of grunt, and it's super roomy. I'm a tall guy, big guy, so it takes a lot to make me comfortable in the cab. But when you step back to the back seats, there's that same comfort level. 6'1", 6'2", 265 pounds. I could ride in the back of this thing all day long. So when you look at the Wolverine, there are a lot of things that you may notice or you may not notice until you actually get in it. One of the things that I love is a bolstered seat, something that's comfortable, something that makes you feel like you're in a package where you're safe and confident. And these high back seats do that. And some of the things that they were telling us during the presentation, they worked on sound. One thing you'll notice when you get in this cab is that it's quiet. That twin cylinder is super smooth, super quiet. And they worked on details down to adding rubber grommets to the seatbelt hangers to eliminate that noise, because they had gotten everything else so quiet, they were starting to find little bitty nuances that would actually catch your attention. And so with that said, it's incredibly quiet in the cab, and there's no unusual vibrations. It's really smooth. I really like it. We've had an opportunity with a passenger today, and you can carry on a conversation in the pad, inside the cab, and I think that's a lot of the comments I've been hearing around camp is how well you can carry on a conversation inside this machine. And it's not only comfortable in the cab with one or two people inside, but what Yamaha has done is they've added self-leveling shocks to the rear of this machine. So with one person in the machine, you won't really notice a difference. But when you start adding the second, the third, and the fourth passenger, you're going to start losing ground clearance. And one way they counteract that is that the rear shocks are self-leveling. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know all the little ins and outs of how that works, but over a few feet of trail, as the shocks begin to work, they work themselves back up into a neutral position. And this leaves the ground clearance the same as if there was only one person in the car. And the ride is really smooth. You would think with the type of shock package that they have on this, which there's preload adjustable in the front, self-leveling preload adjustable in the rear, that you would lose some of that comfort, but that is not the case. And overall, the entire ride is very, very smooth. Now, obviously, this isn't a high-speed machine. This machine's made for adventure. It's made for mom and dad and the kids to get out and go places and do things as a family unit. And so you have a tilt steering. The driver's seat slides back and forth to accommodate different size drivers. They've really stepped up their game and gone out on a new level to create a package that would accommodate a lot of different rider sizes. So Yamaha's premise for this machine was to be nimble, to handle well, to carry 4 people obviously, but some of the other little features that they've incorporated is, if you notice, this roof is actually set inside the cage so that you know, it's made to bump, and you know, you might get in an off-camber situation where there's a tree that's leaning out, and the top of the cage is going to catch the tree instead of the top of your vehicle. These super robust fender flares are made to be scrubbed and hit and take a beating. They made them really, really tough. And the underneath of this thing has full welded steel skid plates all the way from the nose back. And the sides are actually tapered up at a certain degree so that it helps you glide across things so you don't get high centered on trail debris like rocks and stumps or down trees or anything like that. So one thing we've noticed on our ride here at Brushy Mountain is the trails are incredibly tight. There are a lot of off-camber stuff. There's a lot of hill climbs, a lot of steep descents, but the overall picture that I get is that the trees are encroaching on the trail. And one thing Yamaha wanted to do was to not only be able to carry 4 people, but put that into places where your average vehicle might not be able to go. The turning radius is really, really sharp. It just seems to handle tighter trails really, really well. Overall, the Wolverine X4 is an incredibly well thought out machine. For me, the biggest announcement with Wolverine X4 was that twin cylinder. It's smooth, it's a dry sump system, it sits low in the chassis. And you know, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but just think about it. It's a twin cylinder, it's in a Yamaha product, it's got to bleed down into the others, right? So who knows, maybe next year, year after, you'll see it in a Viking or a Viking 6, or all the Wolverine owners out there that have the 708cc engine. Maybe this is something that comes along. I can tell you, it's got plenty of power, plenty of torque, and it'll get you up the trail, that's for sure. Hey, look, I'm gonna put together a complete story for ATV.com. I hope you'll drop by and take a look at it and give us your opinion. If you get a chance, get out to a demo site somewhere. Yamaha does this all over the country. Get in one of these cars and take it for a ride. I know you'll be happy.